pleasure today. We have Laura Tabakman with us, and she is originally from Argentina, but we now claim her here in Pittsburgh. Yay! She started out with photography and does fiber arts, and then she discovered polymer clay, and I guess it looks like you fell in love.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
She loves the versatility of it, and she's been doing it since 1995. And she is an award-winning studio artist, and she has been shown nationally and internationally and featured in books and magazines. And she also has been teaching in the U.S. and abroad since 2005. So she has a lot of inspiration from nature, a very organic style. So I am looking very forward to seeing what she has to share. I've already asked many questions that she's refused to answer so far.
No. I'm going to show you everything you
I
asked
am
me.
all ears, and Laura, take it away.
Thank you for coming. I'm going to ask you to tell me about 15 minutes before I need to stop talking, because when I get started, I just go into. So I work with polymer clay. Polymer clay is basically a plastic and comes in different colors. There's also a translucent version, and there's also a liquid version that also comes in colors, and you can add things to it, but let's not get too crazy about that. I made all these colors. This is basically a color wheel for those of you who like to mix your own colors with the 3 primaries. So you can mix your colors and get all the shadings, and you can add white, and you can add black, and there's also metallic colors. Feel free to come closer if you want to see.
You want to the camera?
Okay. Okay, so let's see. This is a surgical blade. It's very flexible and very sharp. And I cut myself many times when I'm not paying attention. I promise not to do it today. And this is a pasta machine from the kitchen. Once you use it for polymer clay, it doesn't go back to the kitchen. I never used one in the kitchen. And it has different settings, from a thick setting to a very thin setting. And so, and I'm gonna go thinner. This is not a great table to set this up because I can't really.
Do you need me to hold it down?
No. So I'm going thinner. And so the first thing you do when you start working with the polymer is to condition it. And this is what I'm doing here. Just make it more supple, I guess. And it stops cracking like it was doing before. So now I consider this condition. There are many brands of polymer clay, and each one has their own benefit. There's some people who like to make sculptures and use Kato. There's Sculpey has mainly 2 or let's say 3 main clays. One is Primo, one is Sculpey 3, and the one that they use for dolls, that Fimo is a different brand. But so it's a matter of preference, what brand you use. I like this one. I've been using it for 30
Here's
years.
a question for you. When did you start getting into this? And how long have you been doing it?
Hold on, my daughter now 38, turned 9 one time, and somebody gave her 3 packs of clay. And we started playing, and this is what I made. And she left, and I kept going. So, yes.
So you've been doing this like 30 years?
Yes, since 95, it's gonna be
Yeah.
14? No,
Mhm.
many, too many. Yes. So, yeah, let's do.
I was gonna say, did you start with polymer clay, so, from the beginning, when you first started doing this?
Yes. I always made stuff.
Recording in progress.
That wasn't me.
My father made me a loom, so I wove, and I like playing with wire. I always, we have that thing where we need to be making something. So this was great for me because it's like handling color in volume, and I like to build. It's hard for me to work in 2D. I prefer 3 dimensions. So this is perfect for me. So let's grab a couple of pieces of clay. And I'm just gonna go. And I'm folding it in a way where I put the fold first. So I don't trap any air bubbles in there. And when I first started, I was doing this, and there's a thing that begins to happen. It doesn't mix completely. There's a lot of kind of ghost images that appear there, and I couldn't. So there's a lot of stop and go to just ooh and ooh. So now I have my purple. But one of the funnest thing to do with this is, let's say I got 2 triangles about the same size, and I'm not very precise. Another thing is, I mean, these packages are, I don't know if they have the date, but probably 10 years old. So you can keep it, just put it in a tub, and it doesn't dry. It's great. I can leave my work on my table, just put something on top of it, just because I don't want it to get dusty.
Do you have to bake it to make it hard?
Yes. Yes, you have to bake it to make it hard.
Is there one clay brand that you prefer over the others that you find is easier to work with?
I like Primo, but it's a preference. I mean, I like the colors, I like the consistency, I like that I can do sculpture, and I can work very thin with it also, and it doesn't break. I couldn't do that with Sculpey 3 from the same manufacturers. That clay is a lot more brittle. But with this one, I mean, everything you see here, thin, thick, I can do with this. So I have 2 triangles here, and I'm gonna fold them in half. And now I do have to pay attention to fold them always the same way. About 20 times, I'd say.
How many pasta makers have you gone through in 30 years?
How many?
Yes.
Well, actually, the old ones are great. The newer ones break very easily. This is, I think, my first pasta machine. My kids put some beads through it, so I see the marks. Now I have a big one with a motor. But this one, I still love this one. I hope I could get another one like this. But, and people, I mean, this is the handle. They put drills, so you
yeah.
can motorize it
Yeah.
instead of having to crank it.
Trump abortion bans. Pregnant women suffering from miscarriage may deny care.
Can't skip those political ads.
It just started to play.
Freedom to make decisions about one's own body should not be made by the government.
Special appearance
It
spot.
just started to play.
It's commercial time. That's
How did you turn it off?
I don't know, I turned the volume down on mine.
Well, I had
Okay,
mine
so-
turned off.
Apparently not.
I had it off.
So you can see you start to get
It's like an ombre effect.
yeah, an ombre effect. And you were asking me, what did you see?
I was asking about the gradation, how you did that.
Was it here?
That's neat.
So there's, you can see it here,
Mhm.
here also. So that's how you do it. I mean, and this one, I think it's not very interesting. It's too purple. So I can just go ahead and add more fuchsia here. Not even measuring, so I'm adding more.
It's almost like you're gonna make an aurora, and we've been seeing.
Yes.
I could have been here all night, I would not have guessed how you did that.
Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but it's not. It's
Kim's
easy.
thinking, I have a
Yeah.
pasta maker.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm thinking I can buy a
Oh,
pasta.
there you go.
Somebody get a free for Christmas.
There you go. You just have to stop your children from actually making pasta with it.
I'll say, no, when did you start making pasta? Or want to make pasta?
They love it when I'm in the kitchen.
So now it's a little more
Yeah,
interesting.
more.
Yeah, more noticeable. It's colorful.
I'm gonna keep a piece here, so we can keep working later. And this is a pearl, so it has mica powders in it, so it shimmers a little bit. And I can just to change the color to the whole blend. So now I have the original. And if you want to pass it around, you can see how it's changing the color. And once you start doing this, you get a lot of colors in the same family that complement each other when you want to combine them in your pieces, because you started with the same colors.
What's the largest thing you've ever made with this?
The largest? Well, I do installations, room installations.
With polymer
With
clay?
polymer, but I do thousands of small pieces where
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So that piece that we had on display, so it was your gallery piece, it was like the big, how do I describe it? It almost looked like a hammock and then all the little pieces hanging
Yes,
down from
yes,
it.
yes.
I don't know what the name of that piece was, but.
Where was this?
No.
Where was this?
It's the one that I sent out with the email today
Oh,
and the
okay.
website and all, yeah.
That's big.
Let me see. So I did. These are.
Whoop,
Wait,
wait.
wait,
Wait,
wait.
wait, just slide back down, I think.
Yes. These are actual life-size trees that have all the leaves are polymer clay, and I did that with a friend.
If you can put it this way, he'll pick it up on
Okay.
the camera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then, if you want to look at that catalog, with this same friend and a third one, we organized an international, had a call out, and we made, the spinning plate gallery?
Yeah, that's right.
We filled that with,
That's a big gallery.
yes,
Yeah, that's right.
300 people participated,
Oh my gosh.
and from all over the world, and they sent us the polymer pieces, and we put it
And
together.
you assembled it all.
Yeah. So yeah, that's big, but the polymer clay itself, probably I made a vase this long. The thing is, you need to be able to fit it in an oven or put it in pieces. So yeah, I like to work with multiples. So and one of the ways I made, these are what's the name of this? A fungi?
Fungus.
Yeah, fungus. So I did an installation on a wall with pieces of this, and it's
Wow.
we can see the pictures later.
So
The Tamedes or
Tomatoes?
no, Tamidis or something like that is the name of the fountain.
Ah,
So.
Yes, okay,
Yeah, so I don't know.
yes. That piece, let me see if I find it here.
it's a mushroom name.
Yeah, like this is like one of her big pieces that she has too on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And yeah. What's it called? Yeah.
And I just love the way that it was displayed in the gallery where the light comes down through it, so it
Yes.
shadows the floor, and it's a beautiful
Yeah, she said,
installation.
she showed Trimidi, she's looking it up here.
Okay, Tamidis is,
Tamidis,
okay, yeah. Oh, I don't have any connection.
This is another, so you're doing a lot of blending there, but like, I like this, you know, now how you,
Okay.
that's another.
We're coming there, we're coming.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's what this is sort of like.
Yes,
Yes.
and that's called a cane. A cane is, clay that's put together in a way where you layer it and you have the same design from end to end. And you can cut a slice.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And you have this is this cake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
So let me show you how you make a cane.
Debbie Penley has a felt piece in this show. She did caning with felt.
Oh
And
yeah,
then sliced it.
yeah. So people see,
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
It's just,
they make necklaces that way.
ah,
So if you want to pass around this, so you
It's like almost the way they make those hard candies, you know. the big
exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly the same way. Yes. Oh here, take these so
Well,
you
yeah.
can see.
ones. I didn't roll with a smaller
Oh,
one.
that's,
Thank
okay.
you. Sorry.
I'm wondering, I'm staring at that, wondering how you do that. Yeah.
So these are all canes. So these are all slices of canes that I made already, and these are already baked.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 'cause she's like, so she'll cut it,
And the nice thing about canes is that you can make a big cane
I like that.
and reduce it to get the same design but smaller. So I started like this, cut a piece and make it smaller, and I get this. And I'm gonna show you how, if you want to look at that. So here, let's do
and
this.
again, those canes will just stay good if we just keep them.
Yeah, I mean, these canes are probably 15, 20 years old. And so, this is a slice of the cane that has a design like probably that. And if I cut a piece,
Yes, that's cool.
and this is called reducing the cane.
This piece is
So I'm
really
compressing it.
Yeah, it's not fake, yeah. This is a baked chick. What's her name?
That's interesting.
You can already see that I'm reducing it. And I can go as small as I want.
Passes around each
And I'm
other.
gonna keep the same design the whole way
That's how
through.
she gets the pebbles out of it. Okay.
Wow.
So let's make a cake. Oops. A simple cane would be. Get this on the seat.
Crazy. collect seashells as a child too? Because I'm getting, no, you didn't, no, okay.
No, not really.
I don't want Russia.
I collect seeds.
Seeds?
Seeds, I still do collect seeds, and I get in trouble I try not to get in trouble at the airport. Because I collect seeds from all over the world. Oh yes, please. One time I was going through not security, through customs, and I had a pod that had opened and didn't realize in my purse, and I took my passport and all the seeds. I never plant anything. That I make sure I don't plant anything. I just love the seeds.
Make a beautiful necklace out of it.
This is the same thing, just not baked.
You know, so you started this when your daughter was
That's, she just
Nine.
got that off of the
or
cake.
whatever, but you've developed this into, does anybody else do this, or, I mean, this is
I
very
mean,
unique and something I've never really seen.
When I
Nobody done
started, when I started, I don't know if I told this already, there weren't many people doing
by- That's
this.
what it doesn't
So
seem like-
in a way, it was good for me because I had to come up with my own ways of doing.
Right,
Then there was a book,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I used that book
Because I was
to
gonna
learn a
say,
little
this is
bit.
very unique, and it looks like you
Yeah.
just developed all this the way you're doing. all
Yeah, and
this.
also now there's a lot of people using polymer clay,
Okay.
but they use it in a different way. There's things that I do that I haven't seen anybody
Mhm.
do.
Yeah,
This is very common, the way,
Right.
but there are things there,
But
or
just
these.
this, but just this, the way you made these petals for this
Yeah.
piece right here, and how you know, how that's
Yeah.
very unique. Yeah.
Thank you. So now I have my blend. This is called Skinner blend because the woman who invented, that's her name, Skinner, and a piece of gold color. And what I'm gonna do is roll it like a spiral. Work it so you see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't work in the air ever, I mean, but so you can see what I'm doing.
Question.
And this design goes all the way through. And I'm gonna reduce it.
Now it looks like candy.
Don't eat it.
Yeah. I believe it.
So now I'm making it smaller.
I'm not doing this, I'm
No,
not
you
doing
got enough stuff in your house.
this. I have enough going on. That's gorgeous, I love purple. Look at that.
So now I have a long cane.
And what would you do? Would you keep that piece like that?
I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna cut it in 4 pieces.
Okay.
Mhm. Let's say 4 pieces. I mean, I can go as crazy as I want.
I see.
I'm just thinking, over the years you've done this, you get more and more creative and get more, you know. like
This
things
is
that you-
very, very basic. Very basic.
I have a puzzle machine. Probably haven't used it in 40 years.
Oh, there, you got a
Yeah.
good use for it now.
Yeah.
All I do is jump from one thing to another.
So now you can see.
Wow, that's tiny.
Yeah, oh
So
my.
you can just keep rolling that and then adding it, cutting it, adding it.
And I can decide, oh, I want now that it has 4 purple dots and then white and I can keep adding.
Right.
Bigger and bigger and bigger.
So now you can look at the canes and realize how I made each one.
It's like we're doing communion.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that fun?
So there's one
Each
there.
one.
Yeah,
And
each
so
one
you
is
can
a
also
one.
use,
Because you can tell right here where she's.
I'm gonna cut a few slices of these. So I have a few slices there, and let's say,
Some of those already baked
It
in.
sounds like your cells under the microscope.
mhm.
Isn't that
See the difference, we were thinking
It doesn't have a
candles.
smell to it.
Cells. Oh, that's what it is.
It's like too much fun.
So I have a piece of
Well,
just
well,
plain clay, golden clay here.
You could make a fake acrylic piece of cheese, just a slice of cheese.
I want to see your paintings and see, do you have cheese in your painting?
That's right. I've done paintings of cheese.
Christine Swan posted a few past that. You know, Christine Swan, the one from Swickle. She posted a new painting today. Did you see it?
I don't see it.
So you can use these, I mean, just fill a whole surface
Look how
with the clay, with slices of the cane.
It's like magic.
And just make it of the same height. Now I distorted it a little bit because I pushed it too hard. But that's maybe something you want to do.
Snake skin, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like snake skin.
I was thinking turtles.
Yeah.
make a
Yeah, turtle or
brace.
alligator.
I was thinking the same bracelet.
Snake, yes.
So you can use that.
Or butterflies, butterfly wings. You could do.
Yes.
You've
Yes,
done-
there's
you've done
people, I mean, there are some butterflies that people make that are amazing,
Mm.
amazing.
That would be a really cool bracelet.
Yes.
Mhm.
She's trying it on.
So,
Yeah.
so,
You have to watch her.
So,
So all these,
yeah,
that
yeah,
your cup.
yeah.
all these things that I'm putting in here are canes. Even this one.
Oh, one more.
Wow.
That looks like a snail shell. Lots of snail shell.
And these are also canes. Slices of canes that I shaped.
Oh, it's a necklace.
This looks like something from a sea creature. You know?
Let's do something else with this little cane.
Looks like a genie. Tchotchke.
Princess was gonna be giving us some content clay for Christmas.
Oh.
I know, yeah.
My princess school, the girls work
And so you can shape.
Get crazy.
I have a little light bulb here, and this is the way I shape these or these. You just shape it around something round.
Just the amount of time it takes to first make all these things, and then this had to take how long to do? Just a little.
Well, I don't don't paint. I think painting is tedious. You think what I do?
Well, that looks like fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
big.
talk
Looks like
when you
very
paint.
relaxing.
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah.
I mean, I play with my kids, but I never go bring kids.
Yeah,
there.
well,
Yeah.
when I get into making the installations, I mean, and I make literally 1,000 of something,
Yeah.
it stops being so much fun. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
right,
a different,
right.
it's a zen thing. It's like you get into a rhythm
These
of,
pieces here, they're really,
How about that one?
I just want to use a
yeah,
little coal. I love that.
Cold's acceptable.
yes.
Yeah.
And this is a mask that you can remove.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
And it has
Alright,
canes
so
on
you-
top.
Yeah,
Change
that's
the
cool.
mask.
Mhm. But then that's all polymer too, though.
Everything is polymer except the wire, and this is fabric.
Mhm. Yeah, but the body of it.
And you can remove this thing from her.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I love it. These are very interesting. Christmas. This is layered on like what you did here.
Yes, those are canes on
Yeah,
top
on
of,
top.
yes,
Right.
of translucent clay.
So the term canes.
Cane is when you layer different
Layer.
colors and make a design. And it comes from Venetian glass worlds.
Oh, okay.
That's where they do the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, that's-
These can get a lot more intricate.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
because you don't have to work with as fast as they work with glass. You can take your time. These are all just colors of
I love that.
canes.
That's cool.
You can grab it. Yeah. This is a face that I made, and then I made a mold, and then covered it with cane.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it can be the cane itself, or it can be a surface treatment.
So the layering is cane.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all really cool pieces.
And so, yeah, I start these little things. This started also as a slice of a cane,
Uh-huh.
and so softer piece.
Ooh, look at this. Oh, wait, it's not attached.
No, it's not attached. No.
You can break it. No, I don't like it.
So I have these. This is used to make candies, I think. And I'm gonna just shape it around it.
Do you work on this in silence at home, or do you have music?
You know, I
blaring?
used to work with the radio on all the time. Now I like the silence. It's too much, and I find myself counting a lot. I don't know why, but especially when it's not that I count pieces. I count in my mind. I just all of a sudden realize I'm counting. I don't know why.
I think it's all those passes you do through that
Mhm.
oscillator
Could
thing,
be.
you're counting each
Yeah.
time, you're doing it 20
No,
times. and-
I don't care how many.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I evaluate that by how the clay looks more than. But so see, I mean, I'm working really fast when I work at home.
Mhm.
I pay a lot more attention, and
It's not down.
but it's just you can shape the clay anywhere.
Anything you want,
Yeah,
right, right.
and even this is already kind of just from putting it on top of the bowl.
Yeah, me too, when she sat there too, yeah.
It started
Looks like a big
'67.
It just looks like something. And so this is pliable now, but did you say you do dry it? Then
Yes, you have to cure it in an oven, a regular oven.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a convection oven, and it bakes at, depending on the brand, this one is at 275.
I see it marked on your house.
Yes,
The temperature.
yes. I
This is
do a
soft.
tiny bit hotter.
Do you do any cooking with any of your things, your stove or your pasta makers, or you just do all clay? I don't know, I have a funny feeling.
Yeah.
Cooking's too boring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
When
then
it's-
because then you eat it and it's
I know, it's
done.
not.
When your slices are so thin, if you put it in the oven, do you have to make sure it doesn't brown or cook too fast?
You have to pay it. I have a thermometer,
Right.
so I make sure that my oven doesn't spike. If you use, for a long time I use just a small toaster oven,
Mhm.
and that's not great because it cools down and spikes. But if you just cover your piece with a little bit of aluminum foil,
Mhm.
yes, it's safe. Yeah, yeah. And as I said, especially when I'm working with translucent clay, this is what translucent clay looks like. This browns easier than regular clay. So
When it's cooked, does it become more see-through or?
yeah, this. Let me see if I have this. Just you can see this has images in it,
Okay.
but you can see that it's a little more translucent.
Of course, I wanna know how you got those images on
And,
it.
that was my next thing.
I know.
If you are
I'm
lying,
impatient.
if your mind is already blown with the canes, let's move to image transfer.
Yeah.
Because what I do, these are pictures that I took and work with them on Photoshop and did a image transfer. And I have some
Those are all
somewhere.
pictures. I've got to be honest,
I have some. You were interested.
good job.
Okay. I'm terrified I'm gonna break something.
So I use, it's a photo paper for inkjet printing. And this is something I drew on the computer also, and it's this design that I changed colors. And if you look at it, it already has a coating of liquid clay that I brush on top. It feels plasticky. Let me see if I have a piece
But
of
this was just paper.
It's this
Photo
photo paper,
right,
photo paper for inkjet printing.
Okay.
So I don't have a piece without the clay. It's already has the clay. But so what I do, I don't remember why I do it different ways. Why I did it, I coated this. I don't remember.
Just cut it and make it.
Yes,
Did
yes.
she say?
Well, there's more to it, but
She didn't just cut it with
Yeah,
a razor,
but-
just probably steps.
but yes, that's a bracelet.
Goes with my skin. It does. Kind of like, oh, look, that's,
That's, and this
Now,
one
that's
has,
not that kind of stuff.
yes.
Yes,
It
it
is.
is.
It
How
is.
come that's transparent?
It's,
Because that has the paper, I'm gonna show you how I remove the paper.
It's a transfer. Transfer.
Give up on her.
She's gonna show you.
I'm gonna show you the water. So this is just regular water.
Fascinating. It is.
it's too small for my wrist.
So I have a piece of that has already a liquid clay. This layer of liquid clay is a little bit too thin because I was adding more. I'm just gonna show you how I remove the paper. It probably is gonna break, but so I just get it wet. I probably would put water in one of these containers and just drop it in. You can be rough at the beginning, but when you get closer to the ink, you have to be more careful. And again, I'm working really fast. I don't work like this when I'm working to make a piece that I care about. But you can already see where I remove the paper. And I do have to keep going, but that's what I do.
So you have to use an inkjet printer to make the.
That's what I do. No, they use also laser printers with a different kind of paper. But I have an inkjet, so that's what I use. I actually think that with a laser printer it's somehow easier. I think they just spray a little water and they peel the paper like, yeah.
Laser printers are expensive.
Yes.
A lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Laser printers are a lot more
And I
expensive.
wasn't gonna buy a new
Yeah.
one. I have a couple. Okay, so that's how I made, and I did this book with images of me and my sister when we were kids.
Oh,
That's
So these are all
mm-hmm.
things that I scanned, and that's a different technique in the back. It's kind of a cracking thing. You can come and look at it here. This one, it's also made with image transfer technique.
There's a nice necklace for you to match your bracelet.
She saw the price already. She saw the price already.
I don't think so. I already looked at that.
And another way of putting images on the clay is with silk screens. And I made my silk screens.
Yeah, look at that.
And you can get, these are stencils. Here, I have a couple of pieces here that you can see how's the paper removed. These are leftovers from one of those necklaces.
Yeah. Now, you have all of that stuff in those containers. Is this something that you're going to make stuff with, or do you do this for demonstration?
Most of the things I have here are experiments that I
Yeah, I see that.
try things because that's where the fun is. So yeah, and then I make things for sale. But
She has her jewelry, like contemporary
Yeah.
craft.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what I like. This box is what I like.
Yeah.
And I just like trying new things.
To see how they come out, because it could be almost a surprise to a certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are silk screens on translucent clay, and that's raw, very thin, and here.
Yeah.
This one is a combination of image transfer and silk screen. So I cut pieces and put them together on another
I
layer.
can't help it.
And this is a silk screen on a Skinner blend. Already the clay is a blend, and then it has the image on top. And this is a couple of
Whatever,
six screens, one on top of the other on white clay, so it's not translucent. But I do all these and then I cut pieces and reassemble it, and you can look at all of the ones I have here. And so it's like at every step that I'm working, I'm not thinking what I'm making. I'm just experimenting with what I'm doing at the moment. And then I have another opportunity to be creative and use whatever materials I created for myself.
That's what I'm saying, like, the longer you do this, the more creative you become and get with it.
Yeah.
So that will all stay pliable as long as you leave it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Sometimes because I use acrylic paint to screen. Sometimes the acrylic paint will dry the clay, so it is important that it's in between the plastic for that. And this is, these are my silk screens. Very, very primitive. nothing out of the.
So could you just have a piece of clay and just print like a jelly plate or just a regular?
That's my next thing I'm gonna try. But you can also use liquid clay. People add all sorts of things to it. I like adding oil paint.
Really?
Yes. And let me see if I have something here that has.
To a polymer base, you can add oil?
Mhm. Yes.
And then you can still bake it after that?
Yeah.
What if-
I mean,
does it give
it's just a pinch.
Just
I
a
mean,
tiny
it's nothing. It colors very fast. Well, actually, this piece is all painted with liquid clay, tinted with oil.
Really?
Yeah. And see how soft it can be?
Yeah.
Or if I add more paint, it gets a lot stronger. That's why I like adding oil instead of acrylic or pigments. Pigments are a little strong, but people add all sorts of things. And actually, this piece, I should have written down what I put in there. But it is, I want to say, it's translucent clay, so it has no color, plus a little liquid clay just to make it softer, plus turmeric and soda, baking soda, I think. I'm pretty sure.
So you are using a few baking, spices.
Yeah, yes, yeah. If it has a nice color, I just
You'll use it, okay.
put it in
For
there.
the acrylic paint, do you use regular acrylic paint, or do you use fluid acrylics, or?
I never used acrylic because acrylic have water in it, so I think it would bubble.
Ah, okay.
So that's why I prefer oil.
Okay.
If you put a small enough amount, I think there wouldn't be any problem. I mean, I mixed alcohol inks
Now,
with
is
the
this
clay.
inks?
The alcohol inks with the clay, yes, I mix them. Now, I don't do that anymore because I find that the alcohol inks kind of fade with time. So, I know it's somewhere. This was a favorite pin of mine. This is my personal, and it was blue and green, and it was alcohol ink, and it faded. So I don't use alcohol inks anymore. But here's another image. That's a photograph.
I like the metal one.
I think it's the same photograph as this one. And I also like to experiment with, I mean, this, you can tell these are not my colors. This has a white base, and then I use coloring pencils, and then I put another coating of liquid clay to kind of protect it, and when I put it back in the oven, it went, whoa! The colors went bright.
This is sewn together.
But it's a fun
Sewn
piece.
together. This way.
Yeah. Stitching.
Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, that's all stitched.
I like playing with the engineering of the pieces also.
Yeah, that one piece with the stitching in the middle of it, I don't know how you got the stitching in there.
There's, I mean, probably you can see it here, but be careful because there's some wires there.
Mhm. Did you stitch it before you put that back
Oh,
in
it's
clay?
this side?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what the step where I would have
Oh,
stitched them.
yeah.
Okay, where do you buy your,
Because in the back.
metal
I make it.
You know, there's a back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I make it, yeah.
With this back.
It's really cool, it's cool pencil.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's another piece with embroidery, and this insert is fabric. Those are all experiments. They're not finished.
Mm-hmm.
There's another cool piece of that.
Since we are looking at stitches. And when I'm thinking about how to assemble pieces,
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of patience to do that stitching in there.
yeah.
That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Do I hear a sale?
This would make a really great next one.
Yes, yeah. So this is sort of my thought process. I wanted to make this bracelet with tiles, and so I'm thinking it's very, I mean,
It could be.
so this is how I think.
Got a little bit of rubber, a little bit of balloon.
to make this one.
Look at the stitching that she does. I mean, whoa.
Am I a crazy woman or what?
But do you stitch that when it's soft?
Yes.
No,
Then how do you
No.
get through this hard
No.
stuff?
I have to make each hole
Oh.
with a little tiny drill bit.
But
That's even more tedious.
when you
Yes.
make the
That's
hole,
the secret.
If I can go more tedious, I do.
would you make the holes when it's soft?
No.
No.
How
After
do
you
you
make
Hold on, I'm looking
tiny drill.
for my tools to show you.
Tiny drill,
Look at the drill.
very tiny drill.
I didn't know that.
That's because you don't do this sort of work.
Yeah, but look how small
See,
those
you learn
holes are.
something new. You were this old, you learned how to do it. Yeah,
bigger
well, you
things.
can make a big project.
So here are my drills.
Let me alone.
That'd be-
Not leave me alone.
Okay.
What I put up with. Fourth grade. And I treated him
Was he
very
cute in
well.
fourth grade?
She taught me
What?
Was he
everything.
cute?
Oh, I was adorable.
Actually,
I was.
Jeff was cute.
Oh,
Then Carrie was cute. But Lance was the
I was
best.
the smartest.
You were.
What?
You were all good.
You were
We're all good.
He was highest in his class by a good 2 inches.
So this is raw clay that's been, it's a piece of raw clay. And I just,
Oh my
my
gosh.
drill.
Wow.
What's that?
Linda likes
Oh, good.
that.
Oh, so it's not
Oh.
attached to electricity?
No.
No, this is too precise to attach it to
Wow.
electricity, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I
And
can
it's
handle that.
soft. It's not a big deal. It's just that
Isn't it called an
Who?
awl?
AWL?
No, but it's very, it's a needle.
Higher.
It's called a needle.
Wait.
Yeah. In the handle.
Joey, wait, don't know.
It's not kind of drill I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's
so.
tedious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Tedious.
That's just part
if
of
you
the
look
craft.
at this piece, for example, see how it's very shiny.
Yeah.
It looks like glass.
Mhm.
These pieces are polished and sanded with 5 different
Papers or whatever.
papers, yeah. So, talking about tedious and hand hurting,
Mhm.
these are. And when I started, I was polishing everything. No more.
No more.
No more.
You know,
You could get a buffing wheel. and one of
Yes,
those
I do.
things.
I
Yeah,
do.
you have
Use
one of
them,
those?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm impressed with the stitching. Amazing.
What else can I show you? I did vessels for a while. I like vessels. And these are built on balloons. So I put a balloon and cover it with clay, and then remove the balloon, close the shape completely. So now the clay is the balloon. Shape it the way I want.
It's making me think of paper mache used to do with the
Yeah.
kids, you know, put paper
With the
mache
string.
around.
Yeah, but
Quite long.
I shape it after I remove the balloon.
Right,
Oh, another
right.
bracelet.
I get that, yeah.
Hey.
It fits.
Matches.
It fits.
I think something
Sale.
like this. There's something like that, you know.
So these are also flowers that I take pictures of. Anything you want to, let's see, this. I like to make wire shapes. That's a thing.
You could grab this out like this, and I could just show you this. Just a nice, like, yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
this?
And that one is reversible, so this one?
Yeah, I
Okay.
like that one.
Ready for show and tell?
So
That's
this one.
like just the matte look of that.
Yeah.
That was really.
Yeah. This I was experimenting.
Okay, yeah, I know.
It's also a pin.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was trying, no, I just started thinking, how can I use wire as a frame? And I started poking the clay through the wire. So I started with a wire shape
Okay.
and then added.
Yeah, doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, they like to see that.
I also use the clay
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
to close these chain links instead of soldering.
Help with your fall on it.
What is, Laura, what is holding? Is this strip also liquid clay?
The strip is a piece of fabric that's coated with liquid clay.
Okay.
Okay, what's this?
Is that going around?
That's your head.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to keep
I
this
mean,
one.
if I can keep
Hold on.
it's not over here. I think
We're passing this, Eddie. And see,
I think I showed you
tiny.
most all the techniques that I use. Any questions, anything, want to come up and look at the pieces and ask?
We touch it.
You can touch.
How about when is your next class that you'll be offering that people could? Do
I
you have anything
I have
scheduled?
nothing scheduled,
You don't like this one?
but if you're interested, send me an email and when I have something scheduled, I'll let you know.
Now this looks